closing in on time to start the meeting. So tonight, it is my pleasure to introduce from Wildfire Ministries, our invocation speaker tonight, part of the lay leadership, as I understand it, of Wildfire Church, Amy Sloan.
We'll bow our heads. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the freedom that we have to meet tonight. That is something that you've provided in this great country, Lord, and we thank you for it. Lord, we thank you for the veterans that provided this freedom for us, Lord God. Lord, we ask that you bless them greatly for what they've done for this country, Lord God. And Lord, I just ask that you lead every decision that is made here tonight, Lord God. And that you bless everybody in this room and who they represent. Lord, we thank you for the freedom to pray to you. And we ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amy, thank you for your service. Let's see, we still got a minute left on that clock. I have 7 o'clock on my phone, so we'll let that minute hand work around. Mike, I thought your son was joining us tonight.
My wife ended up getting home just in time.
Terry messed with the clock.
We were hoping to entertain you.
Messed with the clock. Oh, no.
I actually like having young people up here. I think I think every one of us behaves better when we have a young person here.
I should have moved it ahead an hour, that way we'd get out.
What time to get out is all in the hands of city council.
Thank you.
Good chair.
Must be the whiskey in there. You didn't have that on yet, did you?
Got the word.
Time is now 7 o'clock, and I will call to order this regular meeting of the Perry City Council for Thursday, November 7th of 2019. If everyone would please rise. And would you join me in saying, I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Everyone may be seated. Devin, would you please call the roll?
Craig Elliott. Minnie Galvely here. Adam Grass.
Here.
Christopher Powell.
Here.
Michael Quinn.
Here.
Terry Wood.
Here.
Mary Jane Hughley.
Here.
All the Concord except Councilmember Craig Elliott.
Very good, thank you. I find that quorum is present to conduct business. That'll move us to approval of the agenda. The clerk and I have prepared the agenda, and to the best of our knowledge, it has all matters that need to come before you for your attention tonight. I submit it to you for your approval or your amendment.
I move that the agenda be adopted as printed. Support.
Moved by Wood, seconded by Queen, that the agenda be adopted as printed. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. That'll move us to reading and approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Devin, would you please read the minutes of the October 3rd, 2019 regular meeting?
Move that we suspend the rules, waive the reading, and approve the minutes from the October 3rd, 2019 regular meeting.
Second.
Moved by Queen, seconded by Powell, that we suspend the rules, waive the reading, and approve the minutes from the October 3rd, 2019 regular meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. That'll take us to pre-approved reports and presentations. I have none tonight. Devin, do we have anyone here that I'm not aware of? So we have no pre-approved reports or presentations. That'll move us to public comment. It is at this time during our meetings, and also at the end, under any other business may come before council, that we open the floor up for members of the public to address the city council on any matter. We do have a 3-minute time limit on public comment. The 3 minutes applies to 3 minutes in each section. Would anyone from the public like to address the council on any matter at this time? Seeing no public comment, we will move to communications. Devin, do you have any communications for us tonight?
Yes. I received an email. It says, "Hello, Devin. Regrettably, I will need to resign from the planning commission effective immediately. My work schedule and commute do not grant me the flexibility I need to make it to the meeting that time. I apologize for the short notice, and please feel free to let me know if there's something formal I must submit. Thank you. Regards, Jen Queen.
I think that is the formal thing.
Sorry to see her go.
You received a email that was given to Council, Dory, and I from the CDL director, and I just want to make note that you received it. She is giving thought on how to have some activities that maybe the library or ideas for the parks and property to consider. This communication, or do you want to read this under community reports?
Jean, do you want to present your report from our local officers compensation committee, or would you like Devin to read it?
I guess I could.
I leave it up to you, but you chair the committee, and if you'd like to deliver the report, we'd be happy to have you do that. If I'm
Okay.
putting you on the spot, so
Yes.
if you'd rather not, we'll have Devin read it.
I'll read the minutes here.
For everyone to know, this is Jean Holly. Among the many things that she does for the city, she chairs our local officers compensation committee. They met recently, and so this is the results of their meeting.
The local officers compensation committee met at 5 o'clock on October 8th. Members present were Steve Wallace, Greg Weckworth, Mike Tobias, and myself, Jean Holly. We discussed whether to increase the compensation of council members and mayor. Moved by Weckworth, seconded by Wallace, to maintain the current level of compensation for council members and the mayor. All voted yes, motion carried. Respectfully submitted, Jean Holly, Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean.
So, the process is that this makes a decision. It's possible for the council by a 2/3 majority vote to reject a recommendation, but since the recommendation is for no pay, I think your rejection would have the same result as what they recommended, so I don't think we have to do anything.
Can't reject the reject.
Well, I think if you reject keeping it the same, your pay still stays the same. We ought to put the state legislature in a system like that.
Like a racket.
Thank you, Gene. Appreciate your committee's work.
I've done well.
Devin?
Due to the lack of quorum at the last meeting, I wanted to offer Mindy to say the winners so that everybody could hear the October winners, or I can read them, whichever you're more comfortable with. I will let you do it. Okay.
I got it.
All right. So, Councilmember Mindy Galvin took the time to go out and select the winners for October. I believe Mindy got to meet them the night the meeting had to be canceled. Is that correct? So they were giving a certificate from Darling's Hardware and a plaque, and they've been added to the plaque. So October 2019 winners, let's see, Perry's Pride winner, Jeff and Vicki Smith, 321 Oakwood Lane. Mindy's honorable mentions were Bob and Raylan Odke, 605 Garden Lane, Michael and Emily Cruz, am I saying that right? 606 Garden Lane, Dennis and Lynette Sardell, 339 Oakwood Lane, and her choice for the winner of Put Your Best Face Forward was Just Darling Art. And the owner of that is Barb Darling, and is located on William Street. And
That's actually Main Street.
oh,
From Williams
I was
Street.
thinking the theater, I'm sorry, you're right, they're on Main Street, 124 South Main, to correct that.
Did-
So the Darling Art and the theater used to be together, and now she's just on Main Street, and the theater is moved to William Street, that's what I was confusing.
Who moved into the beard wax? Lockhart, I think was that.
Nobody at this time, actually Dory contacted them today to see if we knew, okay, backtrack. They have grown their business so well that they're moving to Durant. But we hadn't heard when, so Dory spoke with them today, and they'll be leaving at the end of this month. There's no news of anybody coming in after them, but, so we're sorry to hear that they can't stay with us and,
But, yeah, congratulations on that,
yeah, they're doing very well.
it's good stuff.
All set then? Thank you. So that will move us to mayor and department head reports. Why don't I go ahead and take care of mine first? I'll let council know that after we canceled the last meeting, I'm glad everybody's feeling better, because a lot of folks weren't feeling well 3 weeks ago. I authorized the payment of all routine bills that would be due before this meeting. Those bills are in the packet that council's had a chance to review. But anything that was due before today will have already been taken care of. I don't really have anything else to report on, but if council has any questions for me on any issue, I'll try to answer. Okay, no questions for me. So let's get our report from our DPW superintendent. John, do you have a report for council tonight?
Just a short one. The new gate valves have been installed up at the water tower. At the water treatment plant, we did some piping replacement and the electrical updates. Leaf collection's in full swing. There is no set schedule. So we just start first thing in the morning and run all day long, weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
Yeah. We're getting stuff ready for the winter season, the equipment. We did have a water main break on October 25th up on Keeney Street. And we're planning on starting to put up the Christmas lights and the banners and light up the light poles the night of going into Thanksgiving Eve. Not the tree, but that's.
But you can turn the lights on after Thanksgiving?
I'll turn them on the night we leave
Okay.
for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Eve,
That's right. Turn them on.
so they'll be Thanksgiving Eve if that's
Because I used to
not the
celebrate.
Christmas tree though. That won't be up,
Till-
that'll be up for the 14th,
Okay.
December.
Any questions for John?
Yeah,
You're not
the
quite-
decorations for Halloween, stuff like that, like I have a bale of straw. And would you guys take that?
I would take it back. No, just kidding. Yes, we'll pick it up.
Okay, do you? so-
Leave it in the string.
Leave it string, okay. Because somebody mentioned that on the phone.
Is it dry?
Yeah, it's dry, it's up on the porch, you know,
Oh, well-
and I'll leave it there until I
Yeah,
see the
yeah.
truck come. But what truck?
I'll just come by and get it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Can you clarify my
Pumpkins?
question?
Pumpkins?
There's a lot
Yeah,
of
we'll
rotting
throw-
pumpkins
Well,
around.
we give you a big.
We'll
bin
throw
of
those in the
trash.
back of the truck. We can't vac them, but we can throw them in the back of the truck. If they're melting all over the place, put them in a bag and
Gotcha,
that
gotcha.
way it's,
Thank you, John. Chief Bucks.
I asked the questions that people.
What do you guys do with the
They
pumpkins?
got sort of
The people were worried about your pumpkins getting picked up.
hard.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Well, we have been busy. We have had several felonies that I have sworn out that our officers have taken: felonious assaults, gross indecencies, just bizarre stuff that happened in the month of October. So I really can't tell you why, but it's got my attention, and we've been busy. And felonies take a little bit more than just a few minutes of typing a report and such. So the officers have been busy, but they've done a great job. And it always tells me when the prosecutor gets back to us with a warrant versus we need more information, and we've gotten very few of those. We've gotten a lot of warrants back. So the officers have done their due diligence and provided everything the prosecutors need, but just been busy. So,
Excellent.
on top of that, 'tis the season for car deer accidents, which police cars are susceptible to as well. And we had our brand new 2019 get hit by a deer, and $7,000 worth of damage later.
Wow.
Yeah, and the brunt of it was in the push bar in the front. Without that, I can't imagine we probably would have totaled it. But anyway, it's back. We had a couple other vehicles going for recall work. But I think we have everything back on the road now. Just a reminder that now that we're into November, parking enforcement from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. is going to be in full effect. So any cars that are in the right-of-way, parked not in the non-curbed areas, are going to be susceptible to parking ticket, and or depending on the weather and snow removal, may be towed. I'm not going to say that every single vehicle in the right-of-way is going to have that, but we have pretty good communication with Public Works, and they let us know where the problem areas are and the problem vehicles. And we actually have a pretty good way of tracking those vehicles that are getting ticketed on a regular basis now. So just a reminder, do not park on the road 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Sure.
At the end of the road here, and this Green Street going down, the telephone lines, telephone poles are like 20 feet off the road. I'm sorry, they're close to the corner. And as it goes down Green Street, it veers this way.
Which I don't understand. Which way?
Underneath, it goes to the right. So if I'm going down Green Street straight, the lines are coming well with it, but they're coming more and more and more. And so for me to not park, I was told that you have to be on the other side of the
As a
light.
general rule
As a
of
general
thumb,
rule?
that's your best
Okay.
bet to follow that.
And so that'd be, somebody who had to question that, instead of at 3:15 in the morning, and it wasn't even in my car, but it happens. And so I almost have to be on the sidewalk to be on the other side.
That would not be a better alternative.
Right.
So,
It was just a question, because I don't have the issue anymore,
gotcha.
but they
Okay.
live close by. I love you kids.
So yes, as a general rule of thumb, keeping your vehicle on the inside of the mailbox, on the non-street side of the mailboxes and or the light poles is the best bet, not on the sidewalks. But that's generally far enough out of the way for the plow trucks, and you won't get plowed in, and you probably won't get a ticket.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
But that's a general rule of thumb, that's not hard and fast, because you do have those lines that go near, far, and go in and out towards the road.
Okay. Thank you for
Okay.
clearing that up. I do appreciate that.
Yep. And since I drove, my deck was covered in snow, I may as well mention that sidewalks need to be clear within 24 hours of the last snow. And again, it's not an easy way to just say, well, it stopped snowing for 10 minutes, so it gives you the 24-hour window. So there are weeks that we have it snow every day. So, but people need to keep their sidewalks clear as best as possible. A lot of kids traverse the sidewalks going to school. Just need to make sure that they're as clear as possible, as best as they can. And if it is over 24 hours and it hasn't been touched by a snow shovel or a plow or a blower, then you may be getting notice that next step will be a citation.
There's,
which is really not why myself or my officers put ourselves through the police academy, but we will do it.
it was, son of a gun. I'll think of it after I get home this evening. But I did have a question about that.
Sidewalks?
Yeah, the icy sidewalks in the winter are just about as slick as a sidewalk full of wet leaves. Is there anything for that? Because I've seen it on, like, for miles down sidewalks. And
The
it's
wet
been
leaves?
wet leaves that are just basically covering the sidewalk. And so how does that dealt with? The same as,
Well, I believe that snow and ice is specifically covered under the ordinance, but I think in a broader ordinance, having them clear is also, I don't know if that's zoning or, I'm not sure, but it's not the same ordinance, but I believe there is an ordinance that does cover that obstruction.
okay. It is slippery, so be careful on that.
Okay,
And so,
yeah, if you have problem areas, let us know, we can talk with the property owners.
okay.
And also, last week I had the privilege of attending the International Association of Chiefs Conference in Chicago. Kept you folks up to date on the grant that I received to send me there, and getting all the receipts and all the payments and all that stuff around. It was a fantastic trip, and talking to all the chiefs that I interact with, they need to go to that at least once and experience it. It was a fantastic experience. It was very big. About 13,000 chiefs in several languages I didn't even recognize, let alone understand. And it was a fantastic time. It was great. We had over 650 vendors there. The exposition hall was enormous. But it was a great time, and if I can ever swing that grant again, I will definitely take advantage of that and attend. It was very worthwhile. Got about 13 classes in 3.5 days or so. So, very good. Any questions for me?
Yes. Almost forgot about it. On your report here, you got a hit and a run. Did you find the runner?
No.
He's still loose or she's loose?
I have no idea what you're referring to, Terry.
On your report,
What report?
Statistical report?
That I haven't seen in a
City
month
of
and a
Prairie
half?
Police Monthly Statistical Report.
Okay. From
Yeah,
last
you-
quarter,
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
hit and run down there.
okay?
I was just wondering if you caught the runner. The guy that hit and ran.
I have no idea. You're picking one report out of hundreds since then, so. Sorry.
Well, I just got it. It was in my packet tonight.
Could have happened the beginning of July.
We'll put that
Not sure.
back then.
I think that's been in your box for about a month and a half, Terry.
I don't know, I cleared out every meeting.
If you,
Could be a month.
Haven't had a meeting.
if
in
you give me
about
the
a month and a half.
opportunity, I can look up hit and run accidents and report back.
I was
to you
just
on
curious.
that one specific.
I didn't want anybody getting away, I kinda wanted to hear that you caught him, that's all.
Generally, those are instances where people come back out to their vehicle and find damage. And so it's not anything that anybody witnessed, only the damage after the fact, which doesn't provide us enough information to do much other than report the damage.
I asked a simple one, I thought that'd be a quick answer and go.
You know, I might be able to pull a report number out of my head.
It's
I know
not-
that doesn't have that on there, so
It was just, you know, I don't like guys getting away with crooks, you know?
you and me both. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Kevin, do you have a report for council tonight?
I do.
Thank you, Devin. Moving on. Just.
So 2019 is almost gone, guys, and so there's a few things that I want to put on the table, and that is Michigan election schedule. The presidential primary will be March 10th, and there is a possible May 5th election that the state has put that is used for local county proposals or anything, schools, they put specials on that. So I do not see a May election, but it could happen. August 4th is the next primary, and we have 4 council and 1 mayor that date will consider whether they'll be on that election, and of course the November 3rd. Trying to get everybody primed up with that. With such an early election, I lose some of my people that go to Florida. I'm also looking for election inspectors to build it up. I have the job description, applications with me tonight. Please, if you know somebody that'd be willing to get trained, it's a 2-hour training, and then work the election. The more people I have, the more I can break up the day. I've been trying to do that the last few elections, which has been nicer, so that somebody's not putting in 15 hours. But if you know anybody, you have a college student that's not working, you can actually be 16, depending on how big of work, how many amount of workers I have, but you can be as young as 16 to work an election.
And none of the council members will be on that ballot, so you're eligible to work it. And any member of the public who's curious, I'd encourage anybody to work an election. I came out of doing that process with a high level of confidence in how we do elections here in Shiawassee County. I think Shiawassee County does an outstanding job of conducting honest elections, and I think if anybody's interested in getting with Devin and working any of those elections, I think you'll come away with the same belief as I do. I encourage you to do it.
I do consider that. Absolutely.
Okay, I'll get you the information, pass it on.
Okay.
Okay, Merry Christmas, here we go. Let's everybody pull out the schedule that I gave you from last year for Christmas Fantasy. A lot is going on already. Lori's gotten a lot of yeses. What I gave in front of you is we're trying to replicate what happened last year. And so far, fire department has said yes to their participation in the warming center. The scavenger hunt will be done by Micah Orthodontics again, so everybody's excited about that. The district library is going to do the silent auction again. McQueen House, we know for sure, has a pianist and might have some book signing gentlemen. They're still looking in for the wreath sale, only due to the product is getting kind of pricey, so we don't have a yes on that. Santa is coming back, and Mrs. Claus. Mistletoe stop will be there again. We've confirmed with Floral Gallery to do the actual mistletoe, and we've confirmed with Total Resale, and they are gonna decorate that corner for us. I imagine there'll be free activities and goodies and hot cocoa, but we're still confirming. A lot of people, we started calling in October and they're like, it's October. And we said, well, it is October, but we still gotta start getting flyers and stuff around, so we are getting participation. So the chili cook-off is also gonna take place, that is a yes. We have Emily Thomas that's gonna help push and organize the chili cook-off. We have Total Resale helping push and give applications. I talked to Kevin and I'm going to get him some applications. City Hall will have applications. The chili cook-off has been changed that you will register and enter your cook-off prior to the event, and the consensus of that, with changing of that, is that people wanted to be able to, the public wanted to eat chili at 5:30. So the turnout of chili last year was very minimal, and we're hoping that the numbers will go back up, because it's still, some great chili was there. Santa's reindeer are, I hope, coming back. It's on the agenda. It's a purchase item. And Sweet Adelines have not totally committed. They want to. Their schedule is very big. that day, because they also play at Frankenmuth that day. The horse-drawn wagon rides are confirmed, and that is being sponsored by Perry Dental again. We have 2 new items that are going to be added this year. Ice sculpting is going to be added this year, and last year Joy wanted to do it, she's still working on it. Michigan Labor's Training actually found the grant money and built the Christmas tree that was presented for the city last year. And she wants to honor them, so she's looking at a plaque. And so between her and I talking, we do this a lot, we throw ideas back and forth. She wanted an ice sculptor, and I said, well, out of honoring it, you could have them sculpt their logo. So that's what we're hoping to have presentation of ice and to represent them. One of Dory's items that she's wanted for a couple of years and is to build a Santa mailbox, so the children of this community will be able to drop off letters to Santa. We have drug Sean Hodge along for that one, that he's now doing a home project to build this mailbox. And
Where will we have the mailbox?
That's a Dory thing. This is kind of her vision, so I'm not sure of where we are gonna have that.
Still in the works.
So, mention the library and have them get in on it. It's big, it'll be a draw.
Now, in the last couple of years, there has been giveaway gifts. We did a raffle. We're hoping to do that again. And in the past, council and mayor has donated frozen turkey, frozen ham, it could be anything else. We welcome if you want to participate in the donation of the free raffle giveaways.
Yeah, I'll go to Bucklingers and get another ham.
Mayor for a ham. So the flyers for the chili cook-off have been placed on Facebook, so you can see them. This is what they look like. You'll have your registration, and you can drop them off early to be able to say. And any questions? The date will be December 14th, 2019, and the time has been set for 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Nice. Closer to Christmas.
And that's all I got tonight. Just want to make sure I reported, and if anybody had any questions.
Any questions for our clerk? Hearing none, we will close mayor and department head reports. Do council members have any committee reports tonight? Hearing no committee reports, we move to presentation and approval of the bills. Council has had the opportunity to review the bills, and we seek the permission to pay them.
I move that we approve the bills as presented and that payment be authorized.
Moved by Wood, seconded by Queen. That you approve the bills as presented and payment be authorized. Is there discussion on the bills? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. That'll move us to old business, possible acceptance of resignation. Haven't read that under communications. I'll open the floor up for questions, comments, and motions.
Are we going to have a student mayor coming in January? Does anybody know?
Devin has reached out to the school. So far, we don't have any candidates. We're still waiting to see as the kids get settled in. Sometimes it takes them a while to get through the fall and the football season to nominate some kids, but we don't have any names at this time. We've reached out to Morris schools as well.
Good, that's what I was gonna ask, if we've offered to them.
Yes. Yes, so we're still waiting, and I'd be excited to see some of our high school seniors or juniors, or seniors and juniors from Morris. come out here and spend a month with us, learning a little bit about local government.
Absolutely.
We're still doing the outreach.
Good, good. I just thought that was such a good idea.
But we're on the resignation right now, so. I'll open the floor up for questions and discussion and motions about the resignation.
Oh, well, I guess Jen can't.
Go home and tell her she's stuck.
Tell her we refuse to do it.
I move that we accept the resignation from Jen Queen as the city council's representative on the planning commission with regret.
Second.
Moved by Queen, seconded by Grass to accept the resignation of Jen Queen as city's representative. I think she is one of the city's representatives on the planning commission with regret. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. That'll move us to mayor's appointments. I have several, all of which are reappointments. So I will begin with our second representative on the SADA board, Adam Grass. I reappoint Adam Grass as the city's second representative to the SADA board, and I submit that appointment to you for your advice and consent.
I move that we accept the mayor's appointment of Adam Grass to the SADA board for the term expiring October 2022. Close.
Motion by Powell, is there a second?
Support.
Moved by Powell, seconded by Kuhn to accept the mayor's appointment of Adam Grass to the SADA board for a term to expire in October of 2022. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. I will reappoint Mike Tobias with a term expiring in December, a one-year term expiring in December, to the library board. That's for a one-year term to expire on December 31, 2020. I'll submit that to you for your advice and consent. Mike's been doing a good job for us for the last year.
You will not find motion for the ones he's adding on, just so you know.
I move to accept the appointment of Mike Glass to the library board for the duration of 1 year.
Or
Moved by Grass, seconded by Queen to accept the mayor's appointment of Mike Tobias to the library board for a term of 1 year. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. Let's see. I will reappoint Joanne Velting as the city's Title VI Non-Discrimination and Limited English Proficiency Plan Coordinator for a 2-year term to expire in October of 2021. And I submit that report to you for your advice and consent.
motion to reappoint Joanne Belton to the title as previously.
Title
provided.
VI, Non-Discrimination Limited English Proficiency Plan Coordinator.
Yep, that one.
That's the one.
Yep, for a 2-year term, expiring 2021. Second.
Moved by Queen, seconded by Grass to approve the mayor's reappointment of Joanne Velting as the Title VI Non-Discrimination Limited English Proficiency Plan Coordinator for a term of 2 years. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. I do still have some vacant positions. Obviously, we now have a vacancy on the Planning Commission. I'll be seeking a citizen. Planning Commission members have to be a citizen of the city of Perry, so I'm looking for an interested citizen to fill that seat. Also, we have a vacancy on our Local Officers Compensation Commission. You won't have to meet for about 2 years, but I'd like to fill that last seat. If anybody's interested, please let me know. Council members are not eligible for that one. I have a vacancy on the Perry Building Authority Board, and I'll be happy to talk with interested citizens to to fill that seat. Please let me know if you would be interested in that. I do have one more. The city's pension committee, our local business person representative, has a one-year term. Mr. Victor Darling, I will reappoint Victor Darling as our local business representative to the city's pension committee for a one-year term to expire in October of 2020. I'll submit that to council for your advice and consent.
Read that local business representative to the,
Local business representative to the city's pension committee.
motion that we reappoint Victor Darling to as the local business representative to the city's
Pension.
pension committee.
Second.
Moved by Queen, second by Grass, to approve the mayor's appointment of Victor Darling as the local business representative to the city's pension committee. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. That's it for mayor's appointments. Hopefully I'll have a couple more at the next meeting. Planning Commission, Local Officers Compensation Committee, and the Building Authority.
And the building authority is non-council member?
That's a good question. Can a council member serve on the Building Authority? I'm not aware of the reason they can't.
I don't know, yes or no.
We'll
But the
check
one-
on that and let you guys know.
But the one he was saying that you couldn't be on was local officers compensation.
Local officer.
That's what we agreed with him
You don't get a vote in whether or not you get a raise.
Not a kick in the head.
Okay, so that will move us to possible approval of real estate purchase. Do we want to get into this tonight?
No.
Has anything changed?
Not in particular, no. I do have something to report to you, I haven't shared with you yet, that I got today, and I'd be happy to talk with you later about that. Just some additional information that came my way. But no, there hasn't been any significant changes.
So why don't we keep bringing it up? Just
I don't like the feistiness.
Because council has left it no action taken at each meeting. As long as we leave it no action taken, it stays on the agenda automatically. If council makes a decision of any sort, then we move forward, or we table it and clear it off the agenda, or we table it to a time specific in the future.
I think it's time we made a decision.
I agree with you.
So we have to make the motion?
Depends on what you want to do, but yes, a motion for what you would like to accomplish. If you,
Come on, motion
if you
maker.
have a direction that you want to go, you can either open discussion on it, or you can make a motion for what you think we should do.
I make a motion that we do not purchase that one.
Okay. Motion by Mindy Galvin that we do not purchase a building for the new library. Is that a fair representation of the motion?
The Doom Buggy Shop.
Do not purchase the Duke Money Shop. It's usually Mindy's language. So I have motion by Galvin that we do not purchase the Duke Money Shop.
I'd like to add, at this time. So can we table this for?
Well,
Yeah, no,
first,
no.
first we have to see if there's a second for her motion.
Okay.
If there's no second, the motion fails. If there is a second, then we move into discussion about this, and there's a process to take in dealing with that. So is there a second for the motion that we do not purchase the Duke Buggy Shop? Motion fails for lack of a second. Do you have a proposal, Chris? Do you want to make a
Just-
motion, or you want to have some discussion?
A discussion, actually, because how I heard it was not to buy the dune buggy shop, but with that motion, something crazy happens and we're able to do it a lot less than what, we all dreamed about. And
Well, I will
table that, so
I will say, Chris, that a motion like that is a decision by council. The council has full authority to reverse a decision like that if there's a change of circumstance. Something comes up and you change your mind about it, if council's passed it, then you can, you haven't forbid the council from ever reconsidering it under a different set of circumstances down the road. In other words, this motion doesn't mean that no city council can ever buy that shop anytime in the future.
Okay.
It just, it says, no, we're doing nothing now, and it takes it off your agenda. Does that help?
Yes,
Okay.
if it's okay, I'd like to motion, leave this on the agenda for next meeting.
Okay, we don't have to do that, we can just leave it no action taken.
No action
Get that
taken.
result. So you propose we do that. Other proposals on what you guys want to do with this? Any objection to leaving it no action taken for now?
Just me.
Okay, that's fair. Now we need a motion.
We just did.
No, when I leave something no action taken, I ask for consent, and if I have unanimous consent, then it can be left no action taken. If there's an objection from council, then it requires a motion, and what you would do is you would table it until the next meeting, and then we vote to table it to the next meeting or
I'd like to motion that we table this discussion till next meeting.
not. Is it for the possible approval of real estate purchase and the possible approval to allocate funds for real estate purchase?
That
Both of
that is it.
Okay, so motion by Powell to table until our next meeting, possible approval of real estate purchase and possible approval to allocate funds for the real estate purchase. Is there a second? Second by Queen. Everybody clear on the motion?
Yes.
Is there discussion?
So I say, everybody needs to come with a figure of what they feel comfortable spending out of pocket. We need to discuss that figure, if it's something that we think is doable, or we need to make that an offer with that in mind. But just to come back and continuously say no, right, without any direction, we need to come up with a plan that says, okay, I'm willing to spend this much total, right? Figure out what the repairs are gonna be, this is what was left to offer on the building, but we can't just keep, I don't know. We gotta do, I agree with Mike completely, we've got to make a move on this one way or the other.
These
And-
people are
and
doing us a
you-
great favor.
You can, after another 2 weeks of thought, join with Mindy. Her motion would be proper as well. That would be a proper resolution.
But we do have to make a decision, they've been hanging on for quite a while. I would just call them, all of us to come back with a figure in their mind, and, a reasonable. That money figure just scared the tar right out of me.
When you have no idea what things cost.
Well, I think John's done a great job of.
Yeah,
giving us
Oh,
figures,
yeah.
right? So,
Yeah,
I think we've got a pretty good idea
we
of
do
exactly
have.
what it would be. So we need to take his cost into consideration and then decide whether we want to make an offer on the building with what's in mind or not.
Yeah, I agree with that also.
Further discussion on the motion?
I agree with that too.
I think we need to do that. I mean, we've lost the bank, so it's only the option of the Dons for the library, so then the issue is just whether or not we wanna spend that kind of money for the library.
How are we going to spend the money, whether we get a loan, do it all at once? Or is that part of the discussion?
It's laid
Is
out
that-
in your packet there. I can't remember everything, but it's laid out in there how they're gonna do it.
It's all been discussed.
And if it'll be helpful, you and I can have a conversation about what the suggestion was that I made at a previous meeting. We can clarify that. If you have any questions, I can answer.
Okay, I appreciate that very, very much.
No problem. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion to table, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries. Mindy, thank you for starting a motion to get us moving in one direction or another. I appreciate that. Sometimes it helps when somebody steps off in a direction and says, let's make a decision, that we do that. So I
Well,
definitely
I guess I
appreciate
just
it.
don't know what, anything new that's come along that changes any of the discussion.
Sure. So that will move us to our final item of old business, possible adoption of ordinance number 348 regarding franchise agreements. This ordinance went through first reading in our first meeting in October, and so now it comes up for final approval, and I'll open the floor up for discussion, questions, and motions.
I just want to
I'm
add that
sorry, it was
this
the 19th day of
franchise,
September. It wasn't October. Go ahead.
I just want to add with this franchise agreement, it has a little bit different setup than your usual ordinance reading. I know that you had to read it the first time. There's two sets of motions to follow up with the adoption of this one. And you should have them in front of you to consider.
I move that said ordinance introduced on the 19th day of September 2019 and placed on file in the office of the city clerk for public inspection for at least 4 weeks, entitled as follows. An ordinance granting to Consumers Energy, its successors, and assigns the right and authority to lay, maintain, and commercially operate gas lines and facilities, including but not limited to mains, pipes, services on, under, along, and across public places, including but not limited to highways, streets, alleys, bridges, and waterways, and to conduct a local gas business in the city of Perry, Shiawassee County, Michigan, for a period of 30 years be adopted.
Moved by Queen, seconded by Wood, that the ordinance and all the details just read be adopted. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. Does anybody want to make the second motion?
I move that the acceptance be received and order recorded in the minutes of this meeting, that within 15 days from the date hereof, the city's clerk shall cause to be published in the Owasso Argus Press, a newspaper of general circulation in said city, a copy of said franchise ordinance, and the clerk shall also immediately after such publishing enter the said ordinance in the record ordinances of said city, and shall certify by stating the date and place of such publishing.
Second.
Moved by Queen, seconded by Powell. The motion as just read. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. That'll move us to new business. First, we have the possible renewal of liability and property insurance. Did you have anything that you wanted to advise council on regarding this before they take up deliberations?
I gave them a full packet. This is something we do every year. If you let me, I guess I'm waiting for questions or concerns.
Council have any questions?
This budget, student budget.
Yes.
I move we approve payment of city insurance renewal to MML liability and property pool in an amount not to exceed $36,771.00 and authorize a clerk to sign agreement.
Or,
Moved by Queen, seconded by, was that you, Terry?
yeah.
By Wood, to approve payment of city insurance renewal to MML liability and property pool in an amount not to exceed $36,771, authorized the clerk to sign the agreement. Is there discussion?
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. That'll move us to the possible $25 bonus for non-eligible longevity employees. This has been a routine motion that gets dealt with each year right around Christmas time. It has a long history behind it. I don't know if there are any questions. I think everybody was here for this last year. So I'm going to open it up for discussion, or if anybody has questions, be glad to answer them, or for motions. And as council has been requesting for many years, the council and mayor are excluded specifically from this.
I move that we approve the, no, you go.
Andy said,
Go ahead.
where was I?
What exactly is this?
You want to tell me?
Is it,
The personnel policy, we have longevity benefits for our full-time employees. And you have to be here a year in order to get it. So if you're a part-time, you don't get the longevity schedule that's once a year that is paid out. These, so the people in front of you that I gave you a list of are our part-timers and our one full-timer that is so new that he hasn't gotten his first year in order to get the longevity.
and what do they get for the longevity?
Well, it depends on how many years of service you've given. So it
Okay,
is,
like a bonus?
it is, yep, it is,
Okay.
it is a nice gesture for your years of service.
Thank you.
And I can get you a copy of that if you want to see that.
No, I just really didn't know.
Okay.
I move that we approve the bonus for all those on city payroll that are not eligible for longevity bonuses, except council and mayor, in an amount not to exceed $25 each.
Second.
Moved by Queen, seconded by Grass, to approve a bonus for all those on city payroll that are not eligible for longevity bonuses, except council and mayor, in an amount not to exceed $25 each. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please vote no. Motion carries. Next, we have council's approval for the Christmas lighting contest. This is the same lighting contest and the prizes that we've had for the last several years. I'll open the floor up for questions, discussions, and motions.
So in front of you, you have Christmas lighting contest of 2018 to kind of give you an idea of what it entails. I also gave you a calendar. So tonight, what we're looking for is your date that you would like this to happen. In general, it's tried to be done before the first council meeting so that they can be recognized. Sometimes that doesn't happen. This year in December, we have a December 5th meeting and a December 19th. So it could work, they'd be recognized on the 19th. So you have that many days prior. Last year it was done on Wednesday, December 5th at 7 p.m. And as you can see on that list, it shows the judges. We always invite the previous year winners to be judges. And then we've had added extra. Mr. Still, Karen Davis was pretty faithful to that for several years to do that.
Yes, for a while, she and Greg Wetworth led it together.
Yeah.
And Karen led it last year. So we need a new council member who maybe wants to lead the judging group, help make sure that everybody gets organized and gets all around the city and looks at all the Christmas lights. And then, as a group, talk about where we'll give the awards.
I assisted last year with Karen.
Oh, excellent. So you should do it again this year since you have experience.
Did you contact the same people
Meaning what?
that came with us?
Well, those
Karen
previous
and
winners,
Shirley?
the protocol of it is that you invite the winners from last year, because they can't win this year.
Okay.
And then you can round up whoever you'd like to do it.
Okay. Depending on weather, would you prefer it to be prior to the first meeting on the 5th?
Well, that's where it's to council to consider that, and that's your decision.
You have to consider when people are gonna be putting their Christmas lights up.
Whether,
Also, whether or not you're going to be able to get the information to the staff quickly enough to invite everybody in. If we were to do it like last year, you would do it on the 4th, and we would recognize them at the meeting on the 5th. So you would have to get everything in promptly the next day so that the winners could be invited. Yeah, this year, the 5th is a Thursday, and that's when our first council meeting will be. You can give folks a little more time to get their lights up. You could do it during the week of the 9th through the 13th. And then city staff would have until the meeting on the 19th to invite the winners in.
I know what else was also included, was that they were recognized during, before, I know it's at the Christmas parade, which we, that was the only thing we reached.
Well, if you were to do it on the 9th to the 13th, they could be announced at the Christmas parade.
We don't have a Christmas parade.
Well, did it on the 12th, you'd have plenty of time to get people contacted, wouldn't you, for the 19th? I'm just wondering, you know, a lot of people do it on Thanksgiving, and sometimes, you know, some of these bigger ones, they don't get all the way done sometimes. I'd give them a little more time.
so what do you say, the 12th?
Well, somewhere in the 12th, you know, I don't know, 10th or the 13th, somewhere in there, I think. Because that way on the 19th, we could present the winners.
Good.
And it'd still give people a lot of time with the lights.
Okay.
That's just my thought. I don't care.
And it's a good idea. We should go that way.
So do you want to make a motion for a date, Terry?
Judging will be done from this date to this date.
You've got a it's one evening, and you've got it in your motion for the Christmas lighting contest, moved by, seconded by, that the city will again hold its annual Christmas lighting contest to be held on the day of the week, December, the date, 2019, you set the time, and have the 3 top winners with the city contributing $200 to be divided among the winners.
I can make the motion, but I'm not gonna be, with my health, I'm not gonna be doing it, so
I'll do it.
I think the motion is for somebody that's gonna be riding it.
Here's the calendar, Chris, since we know that you're on the committee, do you want to propose a date?
Probably 10, 11, 12.
It's one evening, though, or you just look at those 3 days?
I think he's picking between those 3.
Yeah, between those 3.
Okay.
So, they'll do it when I say, okay.
No, they gotta vote, yeah. They
I'm
could
like-
not second your motion.
I did not mean for that to come out
You're
loud.
Right when you're laughing.
Okay, then we'll go, make
We
it
can't get rid of him.
the 10th.
Okay, so Tuesday,
Yeah.
the 10th of December at 7 PM is a common time, but what time do you want to say?
7 p.m. We'll start and driving, we'll caravan and
10 at 7 PM. Okay.
hot cocoa and everything else.
Okay, so go ahead with your motion.
Was it 11th or 12th today?
You said 10.
10th, right, I didn't write it down. Tuesday's the
December
10th.
10th, 7 PM.
I got all that,
Excellent.
okay. I move that the city will again hold its annual Christmas lighting contest to be held on Tuesday, December 10th, 2019 at 7 p.m. and have 3 top winners with the city contributing $200 to be divided among the 3.
Support.
Moved by Powell, seconded by Wood, that the city again hold its annual Christmas lighting contest to be held on Tuesday, December 10, 2019, at 7 p.m. and have 3 top winners with the city contributing $200 to be divided among the winners. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The motion carries. So, Chris, I'm glad that you're gonna do this again. Would any other members of council like to be part of the judging? Like the previous year winners, council members and the mayor are not eligible to win. So you're absolutely welcome to be part of that. Is anybody else interested in doing that? If you have a little time to think about it, coming up on there, reach out to Chris. I'm sure he'd welcome any council members who want to, after they've had a chance to think about it, decide that they want to participate. Be glad to have the help. You'll reach out to the previous year's winners and, let's see, who else did we have last year?
Karen, Chris, and then 2 previous winners last year.
Okay. And you could reach out to Greg Whiteboard if you wanted to.
Absolutely. Well, I did. I haven't heard back from him.
You reached out to him about the Christmas lighting contest?
Other things, but that was part of it. I was
If he
thinking,
judges, he's disqualified, but he might be interested in going around and judging.
He's scourging. Yeah, he's all right. So, yes.
Okay. Anything else from council on this? No questions? Okay. We will move to possible adoption of resolution of vacuum and chipping rules. John, I think you had some stuff to present to council before we got into this.
So, before you, you have the rules and regulations. What I'm dealing with here is brush chipping and leaf collection, lawn clippings, that type of stuff. And we currently have extremely minimal guidelines. Myself and the clerk and the secretaries at City Hall, we compiled information from other municipalities on how they do it. Right now, this is not going to change any particular funding, but what we're doing is exhausting our equipment and we're not putting anything back, saving any money to replace it. So we've got a 20-year-old leaf loader and a dump truck, and our equipment is aging, so I have to be thinking ahead, how are we gonna make this work? So what I'm proposing here is, this is just setting some dates and guidelines, volumes, that type of thing, and non-permitted items.
Such as?
So, the things that we're not gonna pick up? Well, basically lumber and building materials,
Okay.
cleanup week, things like that. There's provisions that I put in here that pretty much cover everything. We've got an asphalt pile, we've got concrete, we've got brush, clippings, mulch, that type of stuff. I've got signage up there at the DPW to show where stuff goes. People have been dumping trash though, and things like that that we have to go pick up. So,
Sorry to hear that. It's-
Same thing that happened to our recycling
Yep,
program.
exactly.
not a huge amount, but it's happening. So we made some signs. So what I'm proposing, the thing is right now, the way that we're running our leaf collection, our summertime clipping collection, is costing us about $45,000 a year. Chip and brush is costing us approximately $25,000 a year. Labor and fuel is being paid for, but no equipment is being paid for. $0 is being set aside to fund that. I'm gonna come back later with either we're gonna have to have money come out of general fund, or it's gonna have to be something like trash collection, and it'll be a per utility connection fee. And that's gonna range anywhere from $4 a month to $7.50, depending on how we wanna fund it. And it'll directly go to pay for those services. So in what I'm doing right now, if you approve the resolution and the rules and regulations, it's not passing on any fees at this point, but it is changing the service some. We will do, in the month of April, loose leaf collection to pick up stuff that was left over from the winter with the leaf loader. No scheduled days, just whatever's out there. May through September, bags only. Paper yard waste bags. That's gonna save about $13,000 a year just doing that. And then starting October 1st through the end of November, we would do loose leaf collection again with the back. Chip and brush, I haven't changed any of that. The days are typically going to be Tuesdays for brush, Wednesdays for, yep. And I pretty much have everything defined in here that I possibly could. As simple and concise as I could make it. I did set limits on the amount of brush. If it was cut by a contractor, the vast majority of cities, municipalities, if a contractor cuts it, they do not pick it up. Because 4 or 5 of us have been out there for 45 minutes at houses picking up brush. And I don't think that that's part of the service, unless you guys do. You can tell me otherwise.
So the question is that you end up with the contractor saving themselves money and not hauling the stuff away and dumping it on the city.
I have a question because on the contractor, see, I've got some trees over my garage that I've been trying to get a little extra money to get them cut down. But I can't pay for them to cut down, take care of, and get rid of them. They have what they call a drop and dirty, where they just drop the limbs down. Then it's up to us to clean them up and haul the brush out. Under that case, would you pick up that brush?
A pickup load a week.
A load a week
Mhm.
of brush?
Of brush.
Physical pickup.
A physical pickup load.
A truck.
We're not gonna we've been going property line to property line, picking up stuff. And it's been that way for years. But I'm doing the math in motor pool, and we're not gonna be able to replace equipment.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
arguing that.
that's why
That's a given.
it's gotta be looked at.
But if it falls onto me, I'm only paying to get it dropped, because I can't afford, I can't afford for them to drop, cut it up, and get rid of it, clean it up. I can't do that. I'll have to let go, let it collapse on my garage. But I'm trying to get them to cut, drop, and dirty, and they will. But then I have to cut the small limbs and cut the big ones out, because, and I'm telling you what, those 3 trees are
There's an
big.
enormous amount of brush.
It's an enormous amount of brush.
How much time would he have to have that cleared up in his yard? He drops 3 trees, I mean, it has to be gone in 10 business days or something, or can he, as an older, disabled veteran, can he have, is there extra time, like, take up to a year and do a little bit at a time?
That's the type of provisions that you guys are gonna have to tell me. If you're telling me it don't matter how much brush people put out, we have to chip it, that's what we'll do.
Well, I agree
I'm
with
setting some limits so that I can get some other stuff done.
Yeah, well, I agree with what you're saying with a lot of that, but if the contractor's there and they're gonna pick up, clean up, then it's their responsibility, absolutely.
Mhm.
But if I gotta cut it up, then it becomes my problem, property owner. I've gotta cut the brush off the limbs and cut the limbs up, until it gets down to the size that you'll chip.
Mhm.
Those 2 or 3 trees are, I'm gonna have a ton of junk. So you will only take up 1 pickup load?
That's what I have in here right now, per week.
It's gonna take you
a month.
It's gonna take
It would
you.
take all summer to get rid of it, probably. I'm just questioning, I'm just asking, I'm not
But it's,
picking, okay?
I mean, it depends on how you view it, is that if that's the city's responsibility to chip every bit of brush, then I'm gonna come back and ask for a larger amount to pay for this equipment being exhausted for that.
it
You
still
guys
has
can tell me
maintenance.
no, you can tell me whatever you want. I'm doing the math. I see everything that's going on, and I understand that. I don't know what the solution would be.
So to support what John's saying, he's running into what you're talking about a lot, because people are on budgets.
But yeah,
And
you're
our
crunching me.
equipment, and the city's equipment is paying for it.
I mean, my check gets smaller every month, they find something more to take back, and then everything else is going up.
I understand
And
that.
I'm not picking at you, I understand your problem.
But
We can
I'm
take
just-
some at
I
the Public
understand mine.
Works Department, you know, hauled up there. By the contractor, you know, that's what I'm asking, is they get a hold of us and say, hey, we're gonna bring, and they do. And there's loose brush up there that's piled up.
So we could take it
There's
up
so
there
much
and drop it off.
Yeah, I mean, we doze it into a pile and let it rot.
And the city offers that to the citizens, they could just bring a truckload of tree that they just cut down in your yard to the DPW and dump it.
They do, yeah. I mean, we pick up.
But is that okay? I mean, but if you could have somebody, you know, third,
I mean, eventually, no matter which way we go, the city's gonna have to pay for someone to come in with a tub grinder if I get too much and grind it up. The ice storm, if you remember that, a few years ago, maybe 5. I wanna say it cost about $5,000 to have them come in, grind it, and haul it out,
It was long.
roughly. So that would happen, you know, every so often.
That would have been 2014, the 2013 to 2014 winter. I remember the spring cleanup in 2014.
That was a
But to
nightmare.
be fair, Terry, the question is if you'll approve a policy to set limits on what we're gonna pick up. And absolutely, there's a cost, and I understand your budget concerns. But if we say, as a city, we're gonna pick it all up, now we have transferred the cost onto the taxpayers at large for that brush.
Well, I beg to differ, you understand my budget. I don't think you can understand it till you try to deal with it.
Well, I'm not differing with you, but if the city's gonna pick it all up, then the costs associated with the equipment goes to the
Okay, it's nothing that needs
taxpayers.
to be decided tonight anyway, right? Or you want to settle this tonight?
Yeah, if we can. If not,
Council sets policy, so we're looking for your approval on this policy. Council can make a decision tonight, or council can think about it. You guys get to do that. 'Cause
I would like
you
to.
set
It's
policy.
gonna go your way.
well,
If
I'm
it
not
ain't
doing
now,
it to
will
try
be.
to
Yeah.
stick anybody, it's,
No, I know,
It is what
I
it is.
understand, it's gonna go your way, I mean, I know that. It's just that, maybe I can still drink my cup of coffee
Sure.
every day if I can delay it a week.
I mean, I've crunched the numbers every
AARP
which way I
up
can, and, you know, I mean, I figured stuff, it's just, if I don't do something now and keep waiting,
Right.
we're not gonna even be able to pick up brush or leaves. And
I know
then,
you're trying
and
to
then we
get
come
ahead.
up with $100 and some $1,000 truck, a $70,000 leaf loader, a $35,000, $40,000 chipper.
Our budget is getting crunched too, right?
Do you do a lot of that maintenance on that equipment in the wintertime? Do you, I mean, you
Yeah,
have?
I'm gonna spend, we're probably gonna spend $3,000 on the vac this winter. And it's 20 years old, but it's, I mean, we'll keep it going. What I'm trying to do is prolong its life by not picking up, running it all summer. And just, you know, the residents have to bag the lawn clippings and garden debris, we can pick that up in a single route with a small truck that costs $35,000. Instead of running $100,000 truck and a $70,000 vac. And new money. Old money, it's just, it's whichever way you guys wanna go with it. I mean,
And with their bags, we
Well, it
can
hurts.
consider every other week.
If you waited till the next meeting on this, John, it hurt you? Or
No.
could you? Could you wait till the next meeting?
He doesn't want to come to the next meeting, he missed no.
you need me there?
Well, no, we can do
What
it
do you-
without you,
I
we don't
mean-
need you.
What things do you wanna change
I don't know,
or how?
I don't know, I didn't.
Okay.
I'm neglected, I don't spend no time, I've been busy. That's all I can say is I've been awful busy.
Okay.
Hey, John, irrespective of our opinion, what would you prefer to see happen in this?
Well,
In an ideal world,
New equipment.
On what I have here,
and what you're proposing between.
I have, myself and Devin have spent quite a bit of time going over this
Since February, we've been working
and
on
refining
this.
it, making it as easy on the citizens as possible and still maintaining a level of service while crunching the numbers. I mean, I did a lot of number crunching, and it's, no matter which way we slice any of this, it's like we run twice a week doing each thing for April through November, December. There hasn't been set dates in the past. I'm setting some dates now too with this. And if it, you know, like it starts snowing in December, going out and vacuuming is kind of, I mean, we've done it in the past, but it's just harder on everything. So,
Yeah, maybe in this, maybe in the spring, give it a test run, the bags.
Oh,
Because
we've
if
done
we're bagging
done
it-
that.
well, I've
Bagging
been
your weeds, go
gravitating
every other
towards
week.
bagging stuff. When people call up and Dory asks me what do they want me to do, we tell them to put them in paper yard waste bags. And I've been pushing, some people really like doing it. Some people don't even put out loose stuff anymore because they don't want it all over.
If I took those 2 trees, 3 trees down, or whatever there is, yeah, I gotta, and it's in the summer, I gotta brush, all that brush small enough to get into the bag, or you would take one load a week, or what were you saying?
Yeah, we'll still chip.
You still chip?
We're still gonna chip, but I'm just setting, you know, like the back of a pickup truck set out to the road. And that would cover your whole property line all the way around both sides of the corner.
What?
Do you have the rules in front of you, Terry? If you look on 4, he's giving you the
You're talking about
guideline.
a truck bed chipped, not a truck.
A truck bed of loose brush.
Yeah.
A pickup truck of loose brush set out at the road. There's a few around town right now. Yeah, that size is what I'm saying is, what kind of we're looking at, because, I mean, we've been running, we've been shipping for,
I'll share with you, bud.
this summer, we
Look at number
chipped
4.
probably 6-7 hours most weeks. I mean, we've chipped a lot of brush.
So he's giving you a length and a diameter, and then he's telling you that it can fit a truckload is reasonable in situations.
And then if you have more, bring it out next week?
Mhm.
Okay.
And you know.
That's not
And
asking a
The
lot.
other thing is I'm trying to, you know, I think I have in here, kind of put it out no later than 7:30 the day of the pickup, typically, okay? And I'm trying to get away from having brush out for weeks on end, you know, or just setting out there. As soon as we chip, some people put it out on Wednesday,
You got a whole week to go until they come again.
you know, it's, If you guys don't like it, we'll keep doing what we're doing, but I'm gonna come back and we're gonna have to figure out how to fund it. We can go away from this, and I need some dates though to tell the front office. So that's one of the things. So if you want to hold off on it, Terry, that's fine.
I would like 2 weeks is all,
Okay.
if you could.
Do you have any more questions you want me to answer?
No, I just been neglected, been some things going on there.
If we do, we just leave them with Devin.
Questions?
Yeah. So there's no reason to call you and you're working and interrupt
Right.
what you're doing, so. Yeah, that's happening.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this as a request by Terry to leave this as no action taken. Is there any objection to that? Okay, we'll leave it no action taken. Thank you, John. This will move us to possible approval of reindeer. Chris, do you approve of reindeer?
Do I approve of reindeer?
Yes. We're asking you to approve of reindeer.
Oh, well, gamey, but
A1.
I had to hit the rim.
Well, I think it was awesome last year, Dory worked hard, and Dory wants to continue, so I move that we approve the amount not to exceed $600 to Anderson and Girls Orchards for the reindeer exhibit happening during the city's community event, Christmas Fantasy.
Moved by King, seconded by Grass, that we approve the amount not to exceed $600 to Anderson and Girls Orchards for the reindeer exhibit happening during the city's community event, Christmas Fantasy. Is there discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. That'll move us to possible approval to revoke outdated drug-free workplace policy. Devin, do you want to brief them on this?
We've been cleaning our files, this is a slower month, and I always find something new. We came across a policy that I tracked back that council did approve, and had the mayor review it. Then I gave it to John because it addresses the Department of Public Works. And Pete said that there's stuff that just doesn't apply, it's outdated, and we already have parameters in our current policies that cover what we need for the city. So John asked how do we get to make this null and void? I called the city attorney, and he said that council should formally revoke a policy. So I'm recommending, due to it's outdated, that council consider revoking this policy or rescinding it.
Will we revoke the drug-free workplace policy due to the content is outdated?
Second.
Moved by Queen, seconded by Galvin, that we revoke the drug-free workplace policy due to the content being outdated. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries. That'll move us to our last item of new business, possible approval of catering for the 2019 Christmas party. Devin, did you want to talk to them about this?
Well, I delegated this to Shirley, and again, she's done a good job. We have a different twist to it this year. It was suggested that maybe we would do it ourselves, but again, this is supposed to be about boards appointed, elected, and employees to have dinner. So we're looking at a taco bar this year, and we're looking at the quote that's in front of you is for Perry's Downtown Diner. Would put it on for $8.50 per person or plate. We'd like to put a little spin on it, make it fun, maybe have a piñata, put some Feliz Navidad over it. Saw some chips on the table instead of candies, and we're hoping you appreciate their thought, and we'll support the catering of the taco bar.
Do you know how many mistletoes are gonna be hanging up?
How many would you like?
Stay away from those.
A lot. A lot. More
Your
than one.
keys will get you in there, you hang the mistletoe you want.
Okay, that's something to think about.
So, that's our proposal, I'll open it up for discussion, questions, motions. Mike?
Move that we approve the catering for the December 6th Christmas party at Perry's Downtown Diner, $8.50 per plate.
Second.
Moved by Queen, seconded by Grass, to approve the catering for the December 6th Christmas party by Perry's Downtown Diner at $8.50 per plate. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please vote. Please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. All right, that concludes new business. We will now move to any other business that may come before council. This is the second opportunity for members of the public to address council on any matter they may wish. We have a 3-minute time limit. Would anyone like to address the council at this time? Seeing no public comment, I'd ask council if you have any other items of business that weren't on your agenda that you need to take up tonight. Seeing no other items of business, that'll move us to council discussions and observations. Councilwoman Galvin, did you have anything you wanted to share with us tonight?
I do. Kudos to the McQueen House people and Halloween. It was so fun, and there were so many kids coming out of that house going, wow, that house is really cool. And they had a wizard. And the kids were just crazy for it. And I was too.
You're just a big.
And the merchants. I appreciate the merchants handing out candy. And all the kids in the snow, up and down the street, just having a really good time.
It was wet and nasty.
It was.
We had a huge turnout.
Yes.
Huge turnout.
Yes, it
For the
was.
weather, it was a good turnout.
Thank you, Mindy. Councilman Powell seems to want to go, so Councilman Powell.
We had a parks meeting yesterday and 4 people showed up to it. And we're just gonna keep having meetings and chipping away. I'll let Devin know so we can have it posted on Facebook and here at the LED lights, but love to have more participation. Even bringing your kids, let them have a say in what type of play equipment they would like to play on. And other than that, I'm cold. It got cold.
Thank you, Chris. Mayor Pro Tem Mike Queen, anything you wanted to add tonight?
I'd just like to thank all the, Devin and the rest of the think tank for all the hard work they did through so far, the Christmas fantasy. It looks awesome again. Great ideas and the continuation of last year. As wonderful as that was, so thank you guys for that. Veterans Day coming up, think of that. Shake their hand, hug them, thank them for their service, right? So they've sacrificed to give us the options and the freedom to do what we're doing here today, so that's it.
Thank you. Councilman Wood,
No, I'm good.
Councilman Grass. I will let council members know that just this week I received a invitation from the city of Durant, who hosts the Veterans Day Parade this year. And that parade will be on Monday evening at 6 o'clock. Members of municipal governments are invited to participate. That includes council members as well. If you would like to participate, all you have to do is go over to Durand. They have a service drive that runs into their high school off of the main street where they'll be lining up. And the parade route takes you in a big circle and back ultimately to the high school. So you go to Durand High School, and you'll easily find that service drive park, and you'll be able to join the parade. Elected officials walk together as a group, and I will do my best to be there. I'll be driving in from Livonia that day, and they moved it up to 6 o'clock as a step-off, so that's a little early. Normally, it's been done at 7. If I don't get stuck in traffic, I'll be there as close to on time as possible. But you guys are welcome to be there even if I get stuck in traffic and fail to
Do you know how long of a walk it is?
It's a pretty good sized walk. I think it's the second longest. Owasso has the longest from Fayette Park all the way down to where Baker is at. And then after that, Durand, it's a pretty long walk around that block. But because it's in a circle, if you got tired, you could always break away and head back to the high school a little quicker. Then Perry would be next, and Corunna has the shortest one running from their VFW down to their city hall. It's a doable walk for me.
Okay.
I don't know how it would feel for you.
That was $20, I beat you.
That's one bad.
So, anyway, you don't even have to pre-register or anything, just go out there and ask for elected officials, whoever's lining up the parade, and the others will be there, will be happy to welcome you, and I'm sure the state rep Ben Frederick will be there. I've talked to Mayor Eveleth from Owasso, he plans to be there, and I'm sure Mayor Doyle will be there as well. I haven't heard about everybody else yet, but there's usually a pretty good group of elected officials. That's all I have, so that will move us to agenda items for the next meeting. Let's see, mayor's appointments, possible approval of real estate purchase, possible approval to allocate funds for real estate purchase. That's taken care of, that's taken care of. Possible adoption of resolution on vacuum and chipping rules. Taken care of, that's taken care of. That's all I have. Does anybody else have other agenda items for the next meeting? If anything comes to your attention between now and our meeting in 2 weeks, please bring it to the attention of the clerk, and we will try to get all items that need your attention on the next agenda for you. With that, the time is now 8:36, and we are adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.